We're at the Hunter's Tavern, which right now holds the oldest liquor license in Las Vegas. I started coming here maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I like the mix of people here. My name is Daniel Robert Mollohan, and I'm a photographer. I was born in San Diego. I moved to South Carolina, and that's where I grew up. And I moved to Las Vegas in 2000. Then I moved to New York for 2 years. Then I moved back to Las Vegas. It's the only place that's really felt like home. I'm an odd person. I function at night. So this town gives me leniency to do what I want when I want. I have very bad anxiety, but that's the reason why I started taking photos. Hiding behind a camera is like becoming invisible. I can just hold up my lens and then I disappear. The stories that I've done in Las Vegas are stories that represent a different way of viewing this town. What I'm working on now is a project that I will probably have to rename because it's called Stand Up Vegas, which means Vegas people stand up. I think some people think it means like stand-up comedy. So I might need to rethink the title. And I've taken a lot of images of people who I think are important in this town. And this town means a lot to me. I like the community here. I like the people I meet. The nature of my work is mostly about the decline of the middle class in the United States. The approach to my art is impressionism and surrealism. Now, they are photographs, so they do happen in real time. And they're not altered. I don't crop. The only thing I do really in Photoshop is what I would do in a dark room. I might light in certain areas or dark in certain areas. What I care about is the impression of a scene to convey a message. And sometimes being out of focus works. Sometimes if the lighting's a little dim, it works. Every detail is not important. It's the scene that's important.
This is a dry wash that when it rains becomes a raging river within minutes. There are more than 200 miles of underground flood channels here in Las Vegas. Of course, we're one of the driest major metro cities in the world. We get about 4 inches of rain a year, so that's what allows people to actually live and hang out in these tunnels.
The fact that people live in storm drains in a town that has so much money is a story that needs to be told.
I wanted someone who could capture, kind of the grittiness and the beauty of these underground flood channels. And Danny's work, especially his black and white photography, really stood out to me.
When I shot the project, I was shooting on film. And it's a Leica M3. It was made in 1953, but it's a rangefinder. It's very similar to this, to where in low light situations, I could shoot without using a flash, which was important to me. I didn't want to make something artificial. I don't like artificial lighting. It doesn't represent the art form.
These 6 tunnels open up into a big chamber where you have artwork going up and down for several hundred feet. Just take a walk, see what's back there.
Back beneath here is an art gallery. There's some pretty amazing graffiti art.
This is the beginning of the underground art gallery. The artwork down here rotates. It's almost like a gallery above ground where every few months you get a new exhibit, so to speak.
When I was down here 6 months ago, it was completely different.
I think it's mostly local graffiti crews that come down here, but you will get some artists from around the world. And the art's good, but it's more the context in which you're seeing it, You walk a half mile in pitch dark, and then this natural light the walls just light up. What I wanted to do with the book was to tell the story of the people who are living down here, share their stories. They've never really had anyone ask them, what they think about the city or homelessness or politics and stuff like that. And I think Danny's photographs really help bring it to life.
Talking to someone is one thing, and that's difficult enough. When you point a camera at someone's face, it's like pointing a gun at them.
So Danny had a very tough task, just getting these people to be willing to be, photographed.
Some of them, they just want to be left alone. They want to fix their lives, but when you get so far down, it's almost impossible. What are you going to do? fill out a job application when you've been living in a storm drain for 6 months, you know? There's a photo of a gentleman looking up into the light from inside the tunnels. You know, with the light shining down on his face. It's very gritty and kind of captures like the struggle. He's looking up and he's underneath the ground. It speaks for the whole entire work. The people that we met down there came from all walks of life, but the one thing they had in common is that they were trying to make a living in the middle class, and they kind of got kicked out. Las Vegas, being a transient town, kind of takes in and throws away. You know, after the book, Matt did a lot of work with social outreach, helping these people. If I could contribute to that, that was awesome. You know, that's why you do documentary work. We're not out to sensationalize this. We're trying to get people to realize that this happens. It's a problem. I've run into some people that I've taken photos of down here, and they're like, "You're that photographer," and they're grateful, you know, because it kind of lifted them up. It kind of got them out of here. I don't want to be the cool guy artist. That's never been something that's been important. I want my work to be seen. I don't need to be seen. That's part of being a photographer, is you're not the important. I'm not the character. The characters are in the photographs. To me, it's my work. I'm doing it so people can see images that are important.